Hi, this is Sean. Hello, collective. Welcome to my channel. I am the Divine Feminine Abolitionist, and we are free. I was, before I came on, I was having a conversation with Spirit, and I was talking about the direction that Spirit is moving my channel, and Spirit was saying, sell it to me. And, as if we were in like some type of marketing meeting. And so he said, what is the purpose of your channel? Or it was acting in divine masculine energy. But, the way I see Spirit is definitely divine mother, father, God. So anyway, Spirit said to me, what is the purpose? And I said, well, the purpose is for the liberation of anyone who has ever felt bound and disconnected from divine feminine energy, is the liberation of anyone who has felt bound by patriarchal systems or old orders that no longer serve their highest good, and who has found bound in any way. And although my particular channel is specifically directed for the liberation of divine feminine energy within any soul, it has nothing to do with gender or how you define yourself. It's about any particular soul. And so anyway, we were talking about that, and the word liberation came up. And I've been thinking a lot about what it means to be liberated since I went to see the film Woman King with the leading actress Viola Davis. I have read her autobiography, which was phenomenal, in the way she liberated herself through the craft of acting, through being a creative, through the way she liberated herself through obtaining self-sufficiency. I identify with Viola Davis in a lot of ways in terms of the trauma that she experienced in childhood and how she evolved from it, through it, and her personhood, like the woman that she stands in, and how she identifies herself, identifies herself as a Black woman in America and as a soul who has survived trauma. And she talks a lot about trauma. And so, if you've been following this channel and you have watched any of the videos, you know that the purpose of my channel is that I share in readings, revelations that I have for myself of the ways that I'm healing myself. And tarot, when I was in a very dark place and I was entering dark night of the soul moment, and my ancestors were trying to connect with me, they used tarot. Though I was like not willing to have a conversation with Source because I felt like it was Source. Of course, I played the blame game. You put me in this situation, I didn't want to be accountable for what was happening in my life. I wanted to project it out to somebody else, even though I know better. I know that I am 100% responsible for what I experience in my life and my response to it. I'm not 100% responsible for anybody else's behavior, but I am 100% responsible for the way I respond to other people's behavior. And so in that time, tarot started talking to me or whatever, and it started to help me to heal my life. And I had a different channel at the time, and there was so much stuff going on that it felt like the way that I was taking the channel was in a different direction than really what I wanted to go. And I felt like all of my grief, all of my heartache, all of my pain. I wasn't dealing with it well because I was so busy trying to say, see all of my pain, see what I'm going through, as if I wanted an advocacy for that. And of course, you can always get energies that kind of jump on that particular bandwagon, but that really wasn't what it was about. It was about this liberation of how all of this stuff that was happening to me, was some of it I didn't understand all of the time, because when you are going through stuff and you don't have clarity of purpose, clarity of self, clarity, I knew who I was, but I didn't have divine clarity. And if you are not having a communication, if something is going on with the communication with divine intelligence, the source of all supply, then the messages you get may be distorted. So I had a very distorted understanding of that time, and I felt like I needed to take the channel down. And it was like very frustrating dealing with, at the time, even now, I have them now, but at the time, the hacking and the stalking and the gang stalking and stuff was just extremely overwhelming, because at the time I was trying to stabilize myself and trying to get control of my own emotions and to grow beyond all of the stuff that was happening. But of course, the energies that decided that they wanted to, or that they felt that they needed to, cause chaos in my life, because they're anarchists by nature. Narcissists are anarchists by nature. They need a lot of chaos and drama to happen. And I'm not just talking about the person I'm getting divorced from. I'm talking about the wider, outside of that circle, the energy that had attached itself to my life and had created a lot of chaos and turmoil. The point was to, initially the point was to break me by harming my stability, or what they saw was my stability. And a lot of times when people are looking inside at you, even if they have all access to you because they put cameras in your home, or they're recording all of your conversations and they're monitoring you, and they are acting in the way of the bully because they feel like you are easy prey, because they have this predator nature of where, if a corporation or a multimillionaire can support a movement, or a group of people to say, and they can say whatever they want to say, and say, this is why you need to attack this person, this is why you need to monitor this person, this is why you need to project all of this energy onto this person because of this and this, and it all may be a lie. Or some, because one of the ways narcissists work is they take a little truth and then they embellish it with a bunch of falsities and lies and things like that. So I was receiving a lot of that energy. So I just decided I'm going to take this off and I'm going to focus on me. I'm very good at, I'm reading a book called The Source of Self-Regard by Toni Morrison, who I feel is, as a writer, I feel like she is the high priestess of writers, and that she evokes the highest nature of a writer in terms of a fictional writer. And even when she's writing nonfiction, she was an editor for a very long time, one of the first African-American editors to edit, major works. So her understanding of the written word is, to me, ethereal and otherworldly. And so I see her as the high priestess. But anyway, this book, The Source of Self-Regard, is teaching me that it's okay to regard self. It's okay to advocate for self. And that's what that time period, the point of all of that is saying that time period brought me to this. So I started doing these readings about, in these different portal times, to teach me about the energy, or to teach me what was the wisdom of the ascended masters, what did my ancestors want me to know, what did my deities and my guides and, my soul family wanted, what did they want to convey, what is it that I needed to work on. And so since 2020, I have done spreads and I have learned from them, and I still draw back from them, still go back to them. And in my first one, I got the Empress. And so in the 8-8 portal that I just pulled from, I got 3 cards. I got the Magician. I was using the Hoodoo Tarot deck, and I got the Magician, and I got the Empress, which I made a card for myself by using a 4x6 picture and it was my image, and I put the words Empress on it. And because the energy of that particular photograph was very Empress for me, it was at that time that I took that photo, I knew where I was, and you know what I'm saying? Like, my energy was extremely balanced, and it was a very happy day. Like, I was going out. Some people that are in my life were celebrating me, celebrating my birthday, and celebrating a time in my life. And it was just a perfect time where I was very rooted on my throne. I was crowned, and I was throned. I was crowned literally in the picture with my head wrap, and I was throned because I was literally sitting on my couch in my home, that in 2020 I was envisioning leaving the marital home. I had no idea how I was going to manifest that. And I knew that I had to do that in order to heal my life, in order to bring peace to my soul. But I had no idea. So I was manifesting in my mind and in my heart and in my words, but I hadn't physically manifested it. So anyway, all of that to being here from that season of 2020 to being here in 2022 in the manifestation of something that grew in my mind, I think it's just very important that I share with you, because I know that there are people who are in stages of manifesting, and you may feel hopeless, or because you don't necessarily see it. One thing I would suggest is that you go to Simply Manifest by AV. Is it Simply Manifest? No, there are 2 different people. Simply Manifest, her name is Alicia, and I'll try to put her stuff on here. And what I like about her is that when you make an order with her for manifestation products, for spiritual work products, she sends you a little spiel of manifestation, especially if you're early on in the manifestation. I've been manifesting my entire life. I didn't necessarily know the language of manifesting, but I also knew that everything exists from nothing. And I also knew very early on in life that source is my supply, and it's not external things or whatever, and that gratitude is a magnet. Gratitude is an extremely powerful magnet. And, I have an ebb and flow of gratitude with things that make me uncomfortable, things that make me discontent. And, it's been no secret that I have shared on this channel about being the target of narcissistic energy, of dark energy, of energy that's been projected at me. And even in close proximity to my home, there are people who are plotting and planning thievery, plotting and planning illegal monitoring, plotting and planning. And at times it could be extremely frustrating, but it's never frustrating to the point where I forget who I am and understand my power, because I know my power. And it's not them against me, because everything blesses me. So they're not against me. Everything they're doing is a blessing to me, because every time these people have plots and plans, every time they do stuff, every time they attach to my phone, they just add blessings to my life. They just add. And so, my manifesting energy is to manifest divine justice in this situation, and that the situation is healed, and that whatever they send to me in ill will, I definitely return it to them. I return it to them multiplied. I return it to them cleansed, because I don't take dirty people's, dirty weapons, dirty, bloody, ill will, chaotic, drama stuff. I don't receive any of that. But what I do know is that they send it to my energy. And because I'm responsible for what I send out into the world, I want it to go back cleansed, because I know that some of those people have children, or they have children's children. You know what I'm saying? That they're multi-generational people who are coming against me, who have absolutely no idea about my protection, my guidance, my faith, me, period, as a person. Like, they may have some information that they, did some research, and they think, oh, we have an idea who this person is. Or because they listen to my videos, they think, oh, we have an idea of who this person is. And they actually have no idea whatsoever who I am, or what I'm about, or, what my zhush is. But my zhush is to do no harm. So I cleanse what people send to me as weapons. And, after it's multiplied, because I'm an abundant individual, I'm an abundant source. Like, I have an abundant sphere. I'm an abundant magnet. So if they send some weapons to me, 1, 2, 3, 4, however they're sending it to me, whatever intensity, I'm going to multiply that thing. Then I'm going to cleanse it. Then I'm going to bless it and transform it into a tool so that it serves the highest good to help aid in their healing, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to heal the world. I'm not trying to cause anybody any issues or whatever. And this has nothing to do with a false sense of, holding them accountable. I definitely hold them accountable. That's why I know that I'm going to manifest divine justice. And at first I was saying things like, you're going to go to jail. But, jail is a very limiting, and prison is a very limiting kind of ideology, because there's all kinds of ways that justice can be manifested in itself. And I'm watching and seeing and knowing that the justice is working itself and working. And then it's really none of my business, because they're getting divine karmic justice for the negative things that they're doing, for the illegal things that they're doing, for the criminal things. And we all get that. When I was participating in karmic ways, when I was participating in drama, when I was participating in those kind of activities where my behaviors affected or influenced somebody's life in a negative way, I got consequences for it. That's why I know the consequences are real. And consequences are not irrespective of person. It doesn't matter what race you are, what economic status you're in, what social status you're in, how you vote politically. It is natural spiritual law. Even if you don't believe in spiritual law, it's natural law. Whatever you put out is going to come back to you. And because we live in an abundant universe, it's generally going to come back multiplied. But the thing is, because we live in a human race, because we live in something that carries our DNA energetically, that we pass on to our children, and that we pass on into our family circles, or around the things that we love, the things that we care for, generally it's going to go out and affect more than the sender, or more than the practitioner. And a lot of times these people who send things to other people, they pay third parties, or they practice, the kind of magic that is, they have no idea of its reciprocity. And, they don't understand the laws of magic, spiritual magic. They just understand that if I know how to do this spell, or if I know how to do this hex, or I know how to do this incantation, it's going to serve in this way. But what they don't understand about that law is, if the person that they're sending it to has decided not to be hexed, has decided not to be spelled, has decided not to have their free will, violated in any way, and they have decided to advocate for themselves spiritually. And I don't care how many cameras you put in a person's house, spiritual revocations happen within, even if they may hear somebody saying, or they may watch a video or see some words written and saying, they have no idea how that revocation is turning back, coming back to them, because all magic is intent. So if they have the intention to cause you harm and you have the intention to not be harmed, then something gets canceled out. But harm has a price of its own. It says that I'm in the service of you. Just like good is in the service of you. If you do good for somebody, then that in itself is a reward. But the universe always blesses effort. So if you're making an effort to do no harm, to do good, to be a blessing to people, that's going to show up as currency in your life some kind of way. An abundance currency, because we live in a very abundant, benevolent universe. So it's going to show up some way. It's like all of your needs are always met. Just like, say you're just thinking of, oh, I need toilet paper, or I need paper towels, or, just a small little thing, or I need oil change in my car, or I need this. Whatever you need is always going to manifest in a way that really surprise you, and it's always going to be there if you are a kind of person who's trying to tread light on the earth and do no harm. However, you're the very opposite of that, and your whole zhush is I'm entitled to people's information. I'm entitled to what other people have. I'm entitled to violate people because I've been hurt. I'm entitled. Then you will reap that, because the universe is a mirror. So if you say, I'm going to take, that's what the universe does to you. It just takes. If you're a person who says, I want to give, I want to be a blessing, I want to be at peace, that's what the universe conspires to do to you. That's just how it works. So I'm went back to that spread that I did in 8-8, and if you remember, or if you been following the channel, you remember that I said when the 8-8 portal happened, I got this download of this energy of these lions coming through, and the lions were ancestors, and they were coming through as karmic debt collectors, and they were in search of all of the people, to bring them to the courts of justice, and, going out and collecting. And the people started, people who were doing stuff in that 8-8 portal, they got a little fearful, and then they started changing up their tactics. They started deleting stuff. They started making a lot of mistakes. And then we had this in the 9-9 kind of portal. We had this Mercury, retrograde, where a lot of things were happening that they weren't expecting to happen, because they thought they had it all figured out about how this would go, how that would go, how this would go. And they were seeing reversals, a lot of happening. But that was all because of the 8-8 portal and the ancestors, the karmic debt collectors, and the karmic debt gifters, the delivery of good karma. Good karma was, they were delivering good karma and going to places and making sure that you're maintaining your posture, maintaining your stature of what you're saying that you want to put out into the world. So that happened 8-8, then 9-9, and then we were doing this, and so here we come with 10-10. So I did another spread. At first, I was thinking I was still going to be vibing off of that 8-8 spread, because I got some cards from Abigail at Abby at AV Tarot, where I ordered this Isis Oracle from, and it was a reading. And in the reading, there was Four Swords, and the High Priestess, and the Sun card. And anybody who knows me knows that I love a past, present, future reading. I love a 3-card reading, and I don't always read it as past, present, and future, but that's generally how I started out to learn the language of the cards. Now it's transformed to what it is that you need to work on, or what is the energy that you need to fully embrace in order to get you to the next level, which is the ultimate level would be whatever the last card is. So in saying that, I opened up the Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild that I ordered from Abby at AV Tarot, and it is amazing. I love Alana Fairchild stuff. You know, a lot of these chicks look like the Kardashians. They don't necessarily look like the woman I am, but it's all good. You know, Egyptians are depicted in a lot of different tones, textures, and things like that. But anyway, I like the imagery of the cards, and, you know, I'm not going to hate on them. It is what it is. But so the first card that I drew was Temple of Carnelian. And there's an interesting story about that. I'm not going to tell it today, but I will tell it. And then I got Truths Unveiled, the Revelation of Isis, and High Priestess, Mystical Revelation, Mysticals Revealed in the Eyes of Isis. Those are the 3 cards that I got. Carnelian is one of my absolute favorite gemstones. I love this stone. I love the energy from carnelian. It's really abundant and fiery and warm, and it speaks to who I am. Definitely. It just definitely speaks to who I am. And I've always been attracted to this particular stone and this particular color. These are like my colors. Fall, this is my favorite month. Yesterday was my favorite day of the year. And I was just thinking about yesterday too, about 10, 22 is 222, because when you break 10 down, it's 1 + 1 = 2, and then 22 is 2, and then you add those numbers together, and the 6, that's also the year that we are also in, which is, you know, some people say that 6 is the number of twin flames or divine union. And of course, for me, when I think about divine union, it's not necessarily a romantic thing, but it is me being in union with myself. So this, and this duality of purpose, which is what I'm going to talk about next when I talk about Temple of Carnelian entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. And carnelian is not just that it's a powerful stone in this sense of abundance. It is a protective stone as well. And these colors, the color orange, they coincide with your sacral chakra, which for a long time that has been under attack by, you know, energies outside of myself. And, you know, they've used different means of hexing and different means of trying to attack that. And, you know, people who are working from distorted energies, when they try to attack you and they don't know who you are, they don't understand who you are, they attack you only from their limited understanding of who you are or who they believe you are based on their own, you know, energies, based on their own understanding, based on their own knowledge or wisdoms or, you know, their own experience on the planet. And so they think, because they think they know something about who I am as a Cancer, that by attacking my sacral, they're kind of attacking the core of who I am. And you know, that's the Kundalini energy. But the thing about fire is when you are both fire and water, it's like you have this Sekhmet energy in you that may lay dormant until you have to enact divine justice, or until you have to call upon justice for yourself or for other people, because the whole purpose of us always being here is to show love for one another, is to embrace one another, is to help one another heal and get through this journey so that we can journey on to the next, and to do so in as much grace as possible. I heard this reader yesterday, Mystic Medusa, was talking about the karmics were living under the law and they had no idea of the loops that they were in, the failure loop that they were in, of all of the plotting and planning that they have done, because they were no longer under grace. And my heart just leapt, and I'm just like, there have been times in my life that I felt like I was not under grace because I was exacting the karma of my choices, and I was having the consequence of them, and it felt like, oh my God, I really don't have grace in this, and I felt under law. When you're feeling under law, you just feel judged. You feel judged because of your choices, and you feel like the scales are not, weighed in your balance. But when you're under grace, you may be having some of those same experiences, but you know that this is just a temporary thing. You know that this too shall pass, and you know that every time that the universe calls you to go through a lesson, it will also give you a reward for being willing to being willing to go through this, so that you can come out with a purer energy, so that you can be a part of the more collectively, because it's all about energy transmuting itself and serving the highest good. So anyway, I wanted to come and share that part. And my next video, I will talk about the experience that I've been having with Sekhmet in divine justice. All right, peace and blessings.